Hello, everybody. Welcome. You didn't see what happened. You didn't see what happened just now. Oh fuck. Sorry, my browser's. Sorry, my tabs are a mess.
All
Hello.
right. Well, maybe you should maybe you should figure that out.
I fixed it. I just had OBS open.
Okay. But yeah, we got the 2024 year in review and the community awards and the map competition results. So we got a bunch of stuff to do.
Yep. So
yeah, we're gonna breeze through some of the stuff. Like 2024. That sure was a year.
Yep.
That was another year in the books. We had a lot of events happen. For example, lots of little events happened in 2024. Some small exhibitions, like starting with the Cyber Complex 4 race to SS that Idle was in. And you can see OBS peek over again.
Oops. All right, everything should be good now. For real.
Yeah. We had a Power Room Task Challenge. We had the random map pack released. With a random map app tournament. I say random map app or random map pack.
You said pack.
Yeah, well, it's a random map app. Aki's released that. There's a speedrun.com leaderboard that a lot of people submitted runs to.
Lots of fun.
There's also a random map app showcase at Hackathon offline this year. Cat released the Nexus. Lots of cool stuff.
There were 2 new tasks released as well as this year, two new full game ones. There was the 80% all levels task shown off at Archithon the start of the year, and then at the end of the year there was the kids 16 Reds task shown off later.
Yeah, those were both pretty cool. Mostly a bit spur of the moment in terms of how we put them together as taskers, but it was still good to have a lot of tasks made this year. A lot more task action in terms of total tasks published. There were a lot of returning events. We had all of them ended up being a bit bigger in a few different ways, like DLC 6 and 7 bigger than ever. Just continuing to increase the number of people in DLC. Everybody seems to love DLC. The map jams, the custom map jam 7, the ABCs of Dustforce theme. That one had the most maps for any map jam, I think, right?
Yeah, it's like 30.
It was a lot. Not counting the longer one for CC4. The custom map race, that one actually had the most maps in the CMR. It was like 37, I want to say off the top of my head.
That sounds right.
Yeah, they had the light and dark theme. The abrupt showcase and blind relay blitz. That was the biggest in terms of we raised a lot of money for the map competition prizes. We'll get to talk about that a bit later. And then 12 Days of Atlas remains very large with there were 73 maps published in 12 days this time. And speaking of Atlas things, we did have 668 new Atlas IDs, so new published or unpublished or hidden maps on Atlas. 668 of them. That's 3 more than 2023. It's a lot of maps. 561 of them were visible maps. That's increased. That's 41 more maps that everybody gets to see on Atlas. 203 of them were from events. So, lots of maps. There were 66 map makers that released maps. The most popular of them, the most numerous in map making. We had 5 people over 40 maps, including Miles releasing the most maps this year. Naglaria, Hemp, Jake, and DCBC each got over 40 maps.
Now let's move on.
Yeah, all making up a big chunk of the map pool, keeping Atlas alive.
Yep.
There's a little competitive action, but not too much this year. Mostly Fishy remaining on top. You know, not too much action around the tops of the leaderboards. There were a few movements in the top 10, so you can see if any of that looks familiar to you. You'll notice that we have Nijima has surpassed Luffy, so now 7th place. So shoutouts to Sheila being the first person to do that in a few years. There are a few more people breaking into top 10s and, you know, world records and all that across the board, like Magma Peach, Creets and Paul got some top 10s. There's a lot of new Maso runs as well. I don't know how much you actually did this year, Idle, but
I mostly just
more
improved.
upcomer.
I mostly just improved old records I already had and had control for a bit.
Yeah. Yoda bopped fresh on over on the score rankings. They were pretty close beforehand, but Yoda came back for a little bit to do some top 10s. He cares about having all 150, so we'll see if he finishes the job pretty soon. In terms of full game runs, Miles managed to join top 10 with a 46-47 in 16 red keys. So a little bit of full game action. But you know, not really the most popular at the moment. Got a lot of attention on things like DLC instead. I don't know if we have a number for Consite frame ties this year, but there were a lot.
If someone's willing to check for that and post it in chat, that'd be nice.
Yeah, just scroll up in leaderboard updates. Ucky's now has the most SS's on Atlas. So Ucky's surpassed. Not only did Ucky's surpass Abu, he's currently sitting at 10,975. So very close to making it 11K. Abu's still sitting in second, about 200 behind. And Sheila now also has surpassed 10K, and you know, a few hundred more behind. 10,411. Tons of SS's by these players. And Abu, you can see the daily streak right there. Today, is that screenshot from yesterday or today? Was it
it's from
2119 or 2120?
It's from today, but it doesn't update until the end of the day. But he does
Okay.
have one more than that because the SS today's daily.
All right. So yeah, as of today, it's now 2120, nearly 6 years old.
They hands my daily streak.
A lot of people also broke into a year-long daily SS streak recently too, which is pretty awesome. So now instead of just being like 8 people, we're now at 13. Also, according to Tess and chat, there were 26 new Consite frame ties this year. Pretty big stuff. Pretty big stuff.
Cool. That could be made up too.
So
Can't count or possibly made up.
true.
And one this year, nice.
Let's go. Let's go.
We'll keep you updated in 1 year.
So, let's get into some world records this year. There were 15 new world records on stock maps, and let's just
Let's just watch some replays. So we talked about all the other stuff. Let's watch some replays. Got a lot of cool stuff to show.
the first
They're
one this
gonna be
year.
in chronological order.
Yep. The first one this year was actually Tess getting 28.599 on tunnels, saving around 0.1 off record. This was a multi-month long grind for them.
Yeah, pretty sure it's Tess's only SS IL record. Tess usually an any percent fan, if you want to call it that.
Alright, I
But
forgot
you went on
to
top.
turn my music back on. Oops. Alright.
It's fine.
The next
We'll
world
just keep going through.
The next record this year was Zonda getting Man Titan record, a reroute from Girl, changing it to Man and saving roughly around 0.5 over the old record.
Yeah, so this one was a bit inspired by JVC, I guess, who was looking at man strats on Titan. So I came up with some man strats for him.
We'll go more in depth and more in detail into them later, but the next record was actually Muscle's first record, 16.816 on Shaded Grove. This was, as I said earlier, this was Muscle's first world record, and this was gotten pretty early in February. Lower music a bit? Alright. Thank you. Oops, wrong button. Right. Is that better?
Alright, well, you missed was the super.
Yeah, true. It's okay. It's okay. Everyone's saying it sounds good, so let me show off the super again anyway to make it fair.
We got another few quicker ones. The next few in a row are just some quick any percents that happened.
Zonda got 12.666 on field, saving almost 0.2 off of the old world record. A very, very heavy boost map. Very big boost map with, yeah, very hard record. Very, very crazy.
There's not that much to say about it.
True, I don't know. I was trying to come up with something to say.
Power Room's the big one. That's the next one to look at. That went through a lot of rerouting, and now this is like the only Worth in top 50. So had to rep your boy Worth on a new level.
True.
Worth not represented enough sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Those bump cycles do line up like that on fields.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Worth on the next level too. Ascent had a pretty big change. Sasha came up with a new route for avoiding the dust on Ascent, because you don't need to get super necessarily to go fast on Ascent. You can just hit that bear at the end of it. So this is a run that decides to attack the bear.
Yep. This saved roughly 0.4 over the previous record. That was the super strat.
Yeah.
The next one is actually from me. I was bored during my CC4 grind, so I decided to boot up Alcoves, and I improved my old record by 4 frames in like 2 hours. Not much to say here. Alcoves is a funny stage. I should play it more. As long as you ignore the first heavy, it's not that bad. The next one is Combat Tutorial. Originally, Aki's got Combat Tutorial record while doing any % all practice. Fishy came back, I think a few days later and got record back again, right? But here is a Combat Tutorial in %.
Yep.
Pretty
Fishy known for defending the tutorial records a little bit more. Going for the sweep on them. But Fishy a little bit more inactive, and that's Fishy's only record this year.
The next world record is Backup Shift, the first ever 41 for SS. Not too much different. There is one strat different at the end, which is I'll talk about when we get there. But yeah,
Just idle improving your own runs.
yeah. I should actually probably play every IL at some point.
The Idle Infinity grind.
True. That right there is a new strat, getting the heavy and then jumping over, instead of before where I believe you just heavy and then you just mantle over the wall. The next world record is another from Maso. Maso got Dahlia world record by over 0.1. Got a 10.900 flat. Pretty big jump on this stage. Next one is from Fresh. There's a secret passage reroute, and he was able to save roughly 0.2.
Yeah, Fresh's annual new PB
Yep.
at this point.
Yeah.
Has a few differences on the top of Secret Passage.
Yep. The next one is also from Mosso. Had a difficult, getting a 15.800. There was a minor strat difference he found at the end of the stage, which it's required, which he does. He does it up heavy from below the ground, which most runners before would do it on top.
Yeah,
Before.
loses a little bit of time in some places, but makes it up in the faster super.
Yep. The next run, again, another from Mosso, Server Room in 17.600. 3 in a row. Mosso at this time was on a absolute roll, getting a bunch of world records one after the other. The next one is actually another pretty big reroute this year. Control Any Percent. Zonda got the record with a 10.483. The difference here is Worth can jump into the ceiling and then down dash to get a way more speed than before with the old strat, saving roughly around 0.3. The next run, and I believe the final this year, was Magma Peach, getting the first sub 13 on Ferrofluid, getting a 12.966.
Yeah, first Magma Peach record.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you didn't miss
That
out
up.
on Warehouse any percent.
Did I not
That's on
grab
the
it?
task list.
Alright, give me a second. Let me show off Warehouse 90%. Sorry, Nigel. I thought I put it on there.
Was Satellite any percent this year?
Oh yeah,
Also?
Satellite 2. Yeah, let me show Warehouse real quickly. I thought I grabbed all of them. So here's Warehouse Any Percent by Nija. There was a reroute found recently. I don't remember who it was, but basically, instead of just hitting all the enemies at the end, you grab enough dust to get super, and then you can barely super everything in the, because you could like barely hit both of these.
Yep.
The next one is satellite debris any percent, which was done by Amber. She came back this year and improved satellite by roughly around 0.1. Okay. Also,
Yeah,
it was-
Ember and Arb worked on the new task route for Warehouse any percent that we'll have a link for later.
Yep.
But yeah, pretty sure this one happened about in the middle of the year.
Yeah, it did happen in the middle of the year. I'm sorry, you two, for forgetting your runs. I thought I grabbed everything.
Well, that makes 17 new records.
Yeah.
Not 15, it turns out.
Big
Hopefully
year.
we didn't miss any more.
I'm pretty sure we didn't.
But there are a lot of tasks new records this year. We're not going to show all those. We're going to show some of the highlights of those, though.
Also,
you'll see a few overlapping.
yeah. True Noob, the jump at the beginning, that's always been the strat. There wasn't really a reroute for satellite debris, it was just faster execution.
Yeah,
The first task that we're going to show off,
I
it's
guess
from-
talk about the tasks.
go ahead.
So yeah, well, power 90% first. We had a power room challenge. Even though this one wasn't actually part of the challenge, we managed to keep improving the power room route after the fact. There were a lot of new power room tasks that we did. Titan was the one that was skipped, by the way.
Oops. Okay. Here's the next one.
All right. So there are going to be a lot of tasks that come from the any percent all tasks. In terms of, just making sure that all of the any percent ILs are up to date. Coming up with new strats here and there, like this boost at the top of library. Now that saves most of the time in library, and it's just a cool replay to watch, like the ending. Some tricky stuff.
This ending is absolutely insane.
You can do some of that as a human, but not any of RLJ or LSJ kind of stuff. And that boost across the top is pretty tough.
Yeah.
Some any percent next is going to be this is a one that was long overdue in terms of it needed an update. Not necessarily for the full game tasks all the time, but good use of MHBs throughout the entire level, pretty much. See if you can count them all. Core Temple had a somewhat recent 2023 worth improvement, and here it is with a real task for everything, mostly put together by Fresh, and me just happening to make the cycle work at the end that we were aiming for. Lots of cool tricks in here that you don't actually see in other places. And a very difficult cycle to hit in TAS. That's why we hit them in that order. Zeta any percent was one of the surprise improvements. This one's gonna look, similar to Zeta fans, until you kind of get to the top, and then we have a different way of setting up the boost with some fit boosts, which actually kind of trivializes hitting that heavy a little bit, especially in TAS, who doesn't, TAS doesn't really have that much of a problem with it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, big Zeta fans in chat right now. We got Observatory 80% had a similar kind of unsuspecting improvements in how we're jorfing. Just jorfing for fun. Just a good task to enjoy.
The moral of the story
next-
is always add more dwarfs to your runs. They'll go faster, trust.
Yep. Right now we're just sitting at 4 though. But 5 doesn't really seem faster. Here we have the current warehouse any percent route for tasks. Again, most of this was done by Amber and some by Harb. We got a cool clip in the task that's really hard to do. I think I saved like 1 frame on the cycle, so that's me with the credit. Tunnels any percent was not done in time for the any percent all tasks, but Fresh finally made this work. This was a long time coming in terms of trying to hit this apple of worth. Now, this is one that is worth replaying just to see what happens in the clip, but turns out Worth can do it too. But it's not really that viable, believe it or not. This is barely possible in frame advance. You should turn on hitboxes and move the camera to show the out of bounds area.
Yep.
There you go. And then just kind of slow down through here. You can see Worth's got to do some turning around and juggling and some wall jumps and some extra lights just to barely make it. Helicopter lights coming in clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have an invisible wall jump. You have to turn around to do it. So you gotta do 2 lights just to make it happen.
Absolutely insane that this is even possible.
Yeah. Probably not human viable, much like many of the other things on this list. Next we have a few kid replays to show off. Just a few though, because we got a lot of them. Storeroom wasn't actually made for the kid task, but this is now 2 frames away from the any percent record.
Yep.
Both the any percent and the SS replays were improved by Fresh this year.
Let me show it off again.
Yeah, it's a fast one. You're not really gonna notice the differences honestly, but
Yeah.
Storeroom's tough.
Really insane.
One of the most exciting ones from the Kid 16 Reds run was Forgotten Tunnel, especially the beginning. very unusual routing. And even though you could say it kind of cools down after that, it really doesn't. You know, kid's doing her best.
As Amber said, we've never done something so cool just to be 3 seconds from optimal.
Plenty of kid levels though. So if you want to see all the kid stuff, I recommend checking out the VOD from the Abrupt Showcase where we debuted it. Very cool little pass with our impromptu commentary. Working on the kid task did end up resulting in one new kid record. That's in Containment SS, and that one's pretty wild. New route here. Mostly figured out by Amber as well. And then I just saved like another 0.1 on top of it, roughly.
Yeah.
Came up with the beginning and end.
I'm gonna show it again. That's how cool this is. Very RTA unviable. Very insane stuff happening.
Yeah, it'd be kind of detailed to explain what's so precise about this one, but it's cool to see a new route in Containment.
Yep. The AP
I don't know.
10,
off the top of my
it's
head.
10.15. I have the replay link open.
Yeah, that's like trying to do Mega for the entire level.
Yep. I think it's even higher than Mega too. Crazy.
Well, maybe old Mega.
Yeah. Oh, it's about the same.
Yeah, well, that's all the task replays we're going to check out. But we do have a bunch of other cool replays to show off, like some levels that got removed from the most wanted list. The first one we're going to show off is by Uckies. It's 10,001st SS. Unfortunately, not the 10,000th SS, because Uckies accidentally SS'd a level while practicing for this. So we got a little bit of a laugh out of it. And this is the replay that Gorfs are named after. The now becoming a more popular term, Gorf, for Gardener and Jorps. This level is called Gardener. Was on the most wanted list. I said to Skyhawk one day, you know what? I don't know why this is on the list. You can just do this. And then that inspired Uckies to pick one of the most wanted for his 10,000 SS. But it didn't really work out that way. Yeah,
Yep.
memorable stream. 10,000 in our hearts.
True.
I don't know if JM knows, but it would be funny to tell them.
You should tell them, Tess. The next thing we're gonna show off is a DLC classic, Foggy Doggy Boggy Low Attack. Getting this in, I believe, 6 attacks. If I recall correctly.
The Uckies' second most important achievement of the year. Right
Sure.
behind 10,000 SS's.
True.
So what's going on here for those unaware? Low attack was an invert key category, a side category, in the Dust Force Custom League on this map in particular. And there are 2 dogs in this Foggy Doggy Bog. You gotta minimize your attacks on the 2 wolves. One to hit it up and over, and there's gonna be a little bit more manipulation going on to hit all 4 of these enemies together for the SS.
Yeah.
2 lights and a heavy. Very pog.
Very Poggy
Yeah.
Doggies. And
Yeah, JVC was thinking about putting Poggy in the title too. We made plenty of jokes with all that.
yeah. The next replay is Nighthawk's Tech Hell SS. One of the new hardest maps SS. Nighthawk actually said this was, in his words, he considers this his second hardest SS that he's done, or at least
Second hardest one.
Canthopus being harder in his mind. I believe it's.
Yeah,
I
makes
believe,
sense.
yeah. Absolutely just insane replay. I'm just gonna kind of let it speak for itself. This is just,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah, we got a few more of replays like this too. Some hard levels to show off.
Yeah. So while we're watching this, I guess I might share some more fun hard level shoutouts I wanted this year. 32 people got Yada SS this year, and two people got Infini SS this year. You're now at, I believe, 44 Infini SSs. We're getting close to the big 50. And I'm just gonna let the rest of this.
50.
Yep. I think we can get to 50 SSs this year, guys. Might be a fun project to do.
I heard you might be next on the list.
Yep. I told Dill if he SS's Yada, I'll do Infini, so. True Noob is one of the 30. This is, yeah, just an absolutely insane replay. And the next replay is also just absolutely insane that it was SS. Ucky's SS Night Temple and got it off the most wanted list. This is, yeah, just kind of insane.
Yeah, if we didn't have enough Terras or Jorps in the last run, here's a few more.
Yep. A lot of people have been playing this throughout the years, and I'm really happy to see that someone was actually able to, finish this off, because this is just absolutely disgusting. Big shout out to Uckies for actually being able to finish this off. It's insane. And Diesel, this is Night Temple. It's Night Temple, but with a lot of Terras. There was a strat at the end of the stage that was found to help save going through 1 Terra, which I'll talk about when we get there. Having that allows you're able to heavy through that wall and then get all that dust to kill it, skipping having to do 1 more Terra. Absolutely insane replay that was done. We have another pretty crazy replay too. Tech Niche was brought off the Atlas Most Wanted list by Fishy, being the first person to SS it earlier this year. Speaking of,
this one was overdue. Going.
Speaking of Pulvis Vis, Ucky's also SS'd this map after, and he became the first person to get all 4 Pulvis Vis maps SS's. Later in the year, Bamboo became the second person and SS'd all 4 Pulvis Vis maps within 3 months of all within 3 months of each other, getting the last one roughly around a month ago. Great work to all 3 of y'all for this. This is absolutely insane. Very hard maps. There's a few more maps I want to bring up too this year from that last Most Wanted list. Clunk Mansion was SS by Uckies this year. That's been a thorn in the side of a lot of people going for trying to clear off the Atlas Most Wanted list. Crimson Boss is another hard map released this year that was SS by Uber, and A-Boss SS CC4 after the race to the CC4 stream and became, I believe, the 3rd person to SS all 5 Cyber Complex maps. Excellent work. And we do have one more replay to show. Let me get it up real quickly.
This next one's going to be the result of a little bit of science that followed DLC 7. So in DLC 7 we had Terravec for an Atlas invert key, and we're gonna show off how this trick was used to be able to finally SS Terravec. In Veclad, the level that this is based on, doesn't have as many Terras, but it turns out with the death zone placement here, you can do a little bit of a pause trick, and as long as you pause at the right time, you no longer die to spikes because it delays the time in between respawning.
Yep.
Yeah, there's just some magic going on.
I believe this
And now all
was
of a sudden we're doing fine.
I believe this was found during DLC 7, or at least found
For
to
this
be
map in
possible on this
particular,
map.
yes.
It's been known for a while before, but
Yeah.
it was shown to be possible on this map in DLC 7. And there's been a lot more research into stuff like this with other maps, seeing if it's possible. Like, we found out you can do some damage invincibility stuff on Mega too recently, found by Skyhawk.
Yeah, pretty obscure stuff that it's ever useful. But here's a good use for it. Cow getting an SS.
Yep. The replay is 3 minutes
Yeah,
long.
Glass was the one to find it during the Terravec bounty.
Shout out to Glass. The replay's 3 minutes long, so I'm not going to show the whole thing, but this is a pretty cool replay. It's highlighted. Cow highlighted it. I definitely recommend checking it out if you guys want to see more shenanigans like this. Very cool stuff to be found, and really cool that this map was actually brought off the Atlas Most Wanted list, because I honestly thought this would never be SS if we didn't find something like this.
Actually, A-Boss was surprisingly close on getting close to normal SS.
Wait, was he?
But then this trick was made doable. I think A-Boss had an SA.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Maybe it was S-Beam, but I think it was SA.
That's insane. I actually never saw that replay this year. Wow. Thank you for bringing that up.
Can't be that much harder than Night Temple, honestly.
Of course.
Yeah, fair.
There really aren't that many Terras.
True. Right. That's all the replays we have to show. Why don't we get started and show off some why is it showing that? Why don't we why don't we show off some clips this year? There were a lot of good clips this year from people. And let's show. We had 9 in the community awards. Let's show off the top 5. This is ordered based on how it was asked in the sheet. The first one being No Faces, I'm a God. Let me get this ready.
What button's up?
Riley,
This one.
Let me know if the clips are too loud.
I'm fucked. I'm fucked. I'm not fucked. I'm not fucked. I'm fucked.
No Face was save after save.
Yep. Saving it.
Yes! I'm a fucking god! I'm a god! Ah! Ah! This! No! I dropped combo! Oh no! No!
Absolute banger. Next clip is Ucky's experiencing Supremely Difficult 3 for the first time.
Well, I can't see the fucking prisms.
Underwhelder told me to
What
put
is
one.
this, dude?
Then would I add one? Winking face.
Okay. Yeah,
No.
fucking knew it. Fuck off, dude. Read you like a fucking book right there, dude.
Haha. It's not.
Okay,
Bruh.
fine. Left side. Yeah, no.
You just happened to hit it.
Wait, what? There's
Go
no
look.
way. How did I hit it on both sides? There's no fucking way. I got red so hard. Oh my god, dude. Oh, that's so ass.
The next one is Skyhawk's Yacht Apple difficult save.
Ah, shit. Oh my god.
I actually can't believe Skyhawk saved this. This is actually just insane.
WTF. What a save.
Skyhawk's just too good. The next clip is Paul's first try SS on Donker.
Okay, first try SS, I think. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
And the final clip is JVC learning about cameras.
I didn't read the text and enjoy my surroundings. I swear I read the text. You're right, I did not enjoy my surroundings. JK LOL. Ah!
And now, with the best clips shown, let's get back to the community awards. Let's start giving some community awards out to people. So, 2024 community awards time. The first award is the number 2 Duster of the Year. And the number 2 Duster of the Year is Nijama, getting second. Congrats. The first place Duster of the Year is Aki's. Congrats to both of y'all. Y'all did some absolutely insane stuff this year. Great, big props to both of y'all. We also asked who the best new Duster was this year, and it was actually a tie. There was a tie for first place, and the winners are No Face and Magma Peach, both getting first place for the new Duster of the Year award. Congrats to both of y'all. Y'all both did some pretty good stuff, pretty insane stuff this year. The next award was the Map Maker of the Year, and the number 2 Map Maker of the Year was Jake. Jake getting second place, making a lot of banger maps this year, like Dua Dua and Light. I don't remember how to say it, but congrats to Jake. And first place for Map Maker of the Year goes to Temp. Congratulations to both of y'all. Y'all both made banger maps this year. Some of my favorites were from this year from y'all. Good work. Good work.
Yeah, a lot of maps too.
Yeah. Both of them making a combined nearly 100 maps, I believe, this year.
Just about.
The new Map Maker of the Year award. We didn't pull this for a question because well, there's pretty much one main contender for the new Map Maker of the Year. And it was Maso, making a lot of banger maps this year, including making a lot of stuff for 12 Days of Atlas. We didn't pull the yeah. Maso, great new Map Maker of the Year. Congrats to Maso for this. And now let's go on to Streamer of the Year. The number 2 Streamer of the Year is No Face. Do a No Face pogging right there.
Yeah, trying to get a last effort for votes, coming up just short.
True.
Almost made it. Got a few votes in there.
Yep. And the #1 streamer of the year is Uckies. Congrats to both of y'all. Y'all's streams have both been really awesome to watch and hang out in.
Yep.
The #2 memer of the year. We asked for memer. We did the memer of the year, and #2 this year was Slish. Slish coming in clutch with the Slish maps made for the CMR. Just absolute banger of a maps, like with some banger names like Dawn the Gay Mayor and It Hurts and Keanu Reeves the Matrix. And the #1 memer of the year is back, making some constant iconic bangers. Let me show you one of. Let me go show you one of them real quickly. Let me swap scenes. His one that hasn't really been shown much on his stream is this.
Just want to show off real quick my cool Dust Force microfiber cloth that I got the other day. It's perfect to get off these peasant dust particles. Oh, I think I got some on my monitor as well. That's better.
It's such a good video. Had to upload it to YouTube so it would actually be properly viewable on stream because I was having issues getting it to work. So, and the best clip of the year is actually a 3-way tie. Not a 3-way tie, actually, sorry. There's 3, we're gonna close 3. Third place is the Yacht Apple Difficult Save by Skyhawk. Second place is Ucky's Supremely Difficult 3 Experience. And first place is No Face I'm a God. Let me go show that again real quickly because it's an absolute banger. No Face being the true clip farmer this year.
This one. I'm fucked. I'm fucked. I'm not fucked. I'm not fucked. I'm fucked. Yes!
It's so, the super effects is so good.
I'm a fucking god! I'm a god! Ah! Ah! This! No! I dropped combo! Oh no! No!
Congratulations, No Face. I'm so proud of you for being our #1 clip farmer this year. So, #2 team.
We got a funny team of the year. Surprise. Some of you may remember the question, and we're gonna have a fun little thing that happened with #2 Chipotle won #2. But it turns out Chipotle split the vote with Team Worthless, and the real winner of #1 team of the year is Kappa Crew. Because it turns out teams that are united vote together. So, was the poll rigged? I don't know. Maybe Kappa Crew really all did actually vote.
Yep. I think it's just the team environment really made the difference.
Yeah.
I think the results speak for themselves.
Yeah, Kappa Crew winning the competition, but Chipotle and Team Worthless splitting the vote too much. There was even a vote for My Little Ponies in there, so.
You guys gotta be more united.
Gotta get it together.
Gotta be more united. How else are you guys gonna survive the next DLC SMH? And the community awards also voted for the best maps of the year. The second place best map of the year, as voted by the community, is Baron Burrow by Jake. an absolute banger DLC 6 map. What an absolute classic.
Yeah, the voted favorite of DLC 6.
Mm-hmm. In first place, best map of the year, as voted by the community, goes to Yin and Yang by Zonda and Camel. I am absolutely shocked at this one. This is absurd. I can't believe it. Yeah, no, it's just it's an absolute classic, extremely impressive map, just an amazing map all around.
Yeah, we'll see how they do in the actual map competition votes, though, not just the popular vote.
Yep. And the favorite, we also asked about what the favorite event was this year. We had a lot of banger events this year. There were a bunch of really good all-around events, a lot of fun to participate in. And the community voted the favorite event of the year was DLC 7. A battle between Chipotle, V-Ceiling 7, Kappa Crew, and Wildlife. I couldn't find a better picture for Wildlife, so just take the stock photo of Wildlife there. Chipotle winning DLC 7 with Wildlife a bit behind them. It was a fun event, and I'm glad I was able to participate. V-Ceiling's on top. We also had a community poll for the best 12 Days of Atlas maps. The number 2 best 12 Days of Atlas map is actually a tie. It's a tie between Peppermints by Temp and Z Climbing by Maso. The category and the category or the theme was put right below the name. Congrats to both of y'all for getting second place. And the number 1 best 12 Days of Atlas map was Touchscreen by Spiraler for the dual screen category. If you guys haven't played Touchscreen yet, I recommend playing it. It's just absolutely insane and just a really cool accomplishment. And that's all for the community awards. Now we're going to transition into talking about the 2024 map competition.
Yeah, we had a lot of side categories. We had a lot of main categories. So there's definitely a lot more maps to look at. I posted all of the finalists in Discord announcements, so you should be aware of which maps are which in there. If you want to play any of them, you can find all the maps that we're gonna list in the announcements post. And when everything's over, I'll make a big final post with full results.
Yep. We're gonna start with the side categories first. The first category is the best debut map. There are 5 maps in contention: Nightwell Forest by Cruel Gamer, Bizarre Dream by Random Dude, Persiflage by Paul, Tower of Meower by Firm, and Forest Temple 1-1 by Suigetsu.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
Big Diesel stepping in here as one of the judges who helped with this. A lot of awesome maps here. The honorable mentions really all deserve the representation. But
go back
for the
to
number...
the honorable mention, or not? The
yeah, I guess.
Go back to leave it on the finalist list for everything until we've talked about each one.
Okay.
So,
especially the later ones.
Yeah, just going down the list, we had Nightwell Fortress, which was one of the more difficult debut maps, but somehow didn't feel like absolute nonsense, which is tough for a first difficult map. Persiflage by Paul, really nice polish, colors were nice, even though it had flags, which are a divisive enemy to begin with.
Yeah, shout out to Flag Week.
It was that part of Flag Week?
Yeah.
Oh, terrific. Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun and had a pretty solid camera, which is always kind of a shock when it comes to a debut map. And then we had Forest Temple 1-1, really probably the best prop work of any of the debut maps here on the finalists. Just a ton of effort was obviously put into the aesthetics here, and just overall a really solid map. So then let's talk about the number 2 debut map.
Then
it was
Tower of Meower.
Tower of Meower. Tower of Meower, it's just so cute. It's just, everybody just loves this map because of how cute it is. The gameplay is solid, but just the overall aesthetic and concept is just really well done, and it's always just a nice surprise when you see a debut map that does something you haven't seen before, and you're like, wow, this is really cool. This is their first map? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nice to see maps with personality.
I was a huge fan of this map. This map is just charming. It's so wonderful.
The charm is just out of this world.
Yeah.
But that leaves one map. The best winner of best debut map in the map making competition this year was Bizarre Dream by Random Dude. Sorry, I cut you off there.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. I didn't know who was gonna announce it. All right.
That's fine. Bizarre Dream, just a really incredible map on all sorts of levels. The aesthetics are really good. The colors are just terrific. The gameplay is really solid, especially for a first map. This way this camera is spread out really impressed me, and I think a lot of the other judges. How having a extremely blown out camera is it's a choice, not a good choice usually, but it's really well done here as you kind of bounce back and forth between the sides of the level as you climb up it. It's just, it feels nice, it plays nice, it looks nice. There's just so much good going about this level. It's kind of incredible this is a debut map, in my opinion.
Yeah, who could Random Dude be? It's secretly not a debut map maker.
I hope it's not someone like, oh yeah, that's actually just like someone's alt.
Yeah.
Slish alt, yeah, terrific. But yeah, does anybody else want to say anything about this level? I think it's just really darn cool.
I think it looks really nice. I'm a big fan of how it looks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't have much to say about this map, but I love the color palette on this map. I think these what's the word, pastel colors always end up looking really nice, especially with the light blues and reds that you don't see all that much.
Yeah.
You can still tell it is a debut map. There's some telltale signs like floating checkpoint flags and some dust lines that are just a little too long, but it's just, those are minor details. Overall, the whole package is just really there.
Just an absolutely impressive first debut map, and massive shout outs to Random Dude for winning this. Pretty good.
Hopefully we can track them down, get them to make more maps.
Like a checkpoint flags. Okay, here are the checkpoint flags, Temp.
There's an excitement every time you respawn that you just drop into the level.
Yeah.
You know, like why would you want your checkpoint flags to be on the ground when they could be in the air?
Let me go back to the slides. Congrats again to everyone who was nominated for this. I'm excited to see everyone who was nominated, see what maps they make in the future, and see how far they get.
And some of the people in the debut maps have made more maps, so...
Yeah. I think most of them actually have, which is pretty cool. True, Paul, you should make another map in 2025. Without further ado, let's move on to the next category.
The next side categories are going to be a lot more specialized. Debuts kind of, just general. It's overall, but for debut maps, after all. For the first one of these, best music selection, this mostly came down to how the music was used in the levels, how they, complement all the other features in the level and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. The nominees for this category, or the finalists, are Bit Dust by Temp, Break the Targets by Cruel, Diaz for Dust Kid by Uckies, Depth by Camel, Escape by Miles, Foggy Doggy Boggy by JVC, Treetops by Maso, and Yin and Yang. Does anyone here want to have it add anything about the maps before I move on?
Yeah, I can add a bit on this. I think there are some good nominees on this list. You've got your kind of, I guess you could say, more obvious music choices, such as Bit Dust and Escape by Miles. And you've got more of your atmospherics, like Foggy Doggy Boggy, Yin Yin and Yang, Treetops, another really good one in that regard. We've got a couple of originals. D is for Dust Kid, the notable one on the list. Really all great stuff. All of these maps very highly elevate the map through their music choice. And I really appreciate all of these.
Yep. So, without further ado, let's get into the winners. Second place for Best Music Selection is DS for Dust Kid by Uckies. Dust Kid is my favorite character.
My god. This music choice is just so perfect.
It's so good. It fits the map perfectly.
I just remember everybody getting such a laugh out of this in the CMJ.
The CMJ was an absolute banger. I loved the song. It's just amazing. And without further ado, the number one best music selection for this year's maps was Escape by Miles. Congratulations to the both of y'all.
Was one better map. This map, the second I loaded it and heard that theme, I'm like, without even seeing any more of the map, without seeing any of the references in it, I'm like, this is such a perfect song.
True.
It just fits so well for me.
Agreed. Let's show off Escape and see what the music's like. Show the replay. For the people who don't know, this is for the Super Metroid Escape theme. It's an absolute classic and just an absolute banger of a song. It was emulated quite well in Dust Force with the Rising Lava mechanic.
Yeah, absolutely perfect music selection for this level. I could not have chosen it better myself.
Yeah. I especially love the choice of either escaping immediately or the apples as reference to the final escape in Metroid. It's a banger. Congratulations, good pick. The next side category we're going to go into is the best difficult map. Anyone here want to say anything about best difficult?
Yeah, as far as difficult's concerned, we had kind of a mix of trying to pick the hardest maps. You know, they have to be at least difficult enough to kind of qualify, but they also have to be good. So best to difficult doesn't necessarily mean most difficult map. It's got to be good and it's got to be difficult, and it's kind of on the judges to decide how those two kind of balance each other out. Because sometimes you can be too hard and not a good map because of it.
True.
If any judges are in chat, by the way, we are in need of some of the judges to join for any categories if you want to talk about any of the maps. Otherwise, I'm gonna kind of wing it for all the ones that happened. By the way, we don't have too many judges in the call, and I would like it if some judges showed up.
Yep. And True Noob, yeah, Holy Complex was considered a difficult map because of its length. It definitely is a very long stamina map. The raw gameplay difficulty of each section might not be the hardest, but having to string it all together for over 15 minutes does make it a pretty difficult map. And
I can tell you from my experience, that's a hard map.
Yeah. And to list off the finalists, there was D-Res by Temp, Donker by Temp.
Yep, plenty of Temp maps.
Dual Lab by
Donker was the CMR dark version of the Jaked map that we saw earlier.
Yep. There's Dual Lab by Mosso.
Yeah, that one was made in 12 Days of Atlas.
Holy Cowplex by Holy Cow. Insomnia by me. It was a dark version of Mosso Slumber, which was also shown earlier. Ram by Temp, and S Slightly Difficult by This Is Not Jake.
Yeah, Ram was also a BRB map. That was the final map in the Blind Relay Blitz, where we had Uckies versus Sheila, first to SS the level. Ended up being the winner of the entire competition.
Yep.
S Slightly Difficult was actually a secret map. Yeah, and Jake helped out with it too.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what?
Oh, and Ram, yeah, I forgot
Or
that.
no, Ram. That was the one Jake helped with.
Yeah, that was a collab between Jake and Dem.
Yeah. For as slightly difficult, that was originally released as a secret map within another map. Back in about February, I think. And only somewhat recently, when I noticed it in the list of hidden maps. I just double checked with Jake, hey, do you want this to be in the competition? And he ended up unhiding it.
Yep. Without further ado, the second place for best difficult map of the year, as slightly difficult by This Is Not Jake. Just a really fun map. I really like seeing maps with the whole lighting heavy prisms to keep getting distance until you have to get to a right spot. It's always a really cool gimmick, and I'm a big fan of this map.
Yeah, this uses that gimmick in a much more modern, kind of friendly way. It takes into consideration you don't really want to be stalling that long when it comes to moving through places. But when it comes to some of the very precise required movements in the map, you're balancing this, slightly easier to do because of, considerations for the player. But it's still very difficult, very precise.
Mm-hmm.
Very well designed map.
Yeah.
It's a very unique gameplay style as well. It's one you don't see very often. These unique, difficult maps really are a gem when they come up a lot of the times.
Yeah. And as I said earlier, it was executed really well, and I enjoy this map a lot. And
yeah, maybe Ukkies didn't even know about it yet.
And without further ado, the number one best, most difficult map this year is Donker by Temp. Congratulations. Donker, really fun map. I really enjoyed it personally when I was grinding it during the CMR release. And I loved all the stream content that came from this map too. I think it's a really fun map, really good Temp map.
Very nicely polished too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get away with as many precise sections as possible in CMR.
Yep. Let me go show off Donker. World record run by Wazzy.
In this map, there's actually a pretty decent amount of freedom in terms of what you can do in any of these given sections with varying amounts of difficulty, which I really appreciate in this map.
Same. I enjoy
Even though I was stubborn and didn't try new things for a long time.
Yeah. It's really cool seeing difficult maps having freedom for the way you can approach sections and have it all still work out, which is definitely a really big plus to have in difficult maps, because a lot of them are usually a lot more linear with what you're allowed to do. I love the ending effects too. It's really nice. The ending effects are really cool too. Just taking a look at this. Really fun map. Congratulations, Temp, on winning this. The next category is the Technical Achievement Award. So
let me get up the description for this one that I gave people.
All right.
So we have the Technical Achievement Award. Kind of is similar in premise to Most Innovative, but there are some pretty key differences. In particular, this category doesn't care as much for it has to explicitly tie to Dust Force. It's just a matter of the winner should accomplish something that's extraordinary in scripts, and the execution of that matters. But it doesn't mean that the level really has to be fun or anything like that. So the map doesn't have to be wildly unique or anything either, just to be technically impressive. And we have a lot of different kinds of accomplishments that have happened in scripts. Nothing like the most craziest thing in the world. We're not making Doom or Skyrim and Dustforce. We're not quite ready to port those, perhaps. But those would be technical achievements to see that kind of stuff done in Dustforce. The first one on the list, Air Hockey. That one, I'm pretty sure that does multiplayer mouse.
Yep.
Movement, which is something we haven't seen before. I remember Skyhawk talking about some of that in Code Force, pretty sure. Just seeing if it was possible, and we got Air Hockey out of it. And it's pretty funny to play single player too. So, you know, pretty well received map. Apple Fall by Weejo is something that has some special triggers with handling apples in different ways, like, you know, traveling through the level with apples. Some apples now being required to, you know, dump off in various hill locations. Lots of cool ways to use the apples that we haven't seen before like that. Colliders demo by Weejo. Weejo also had a lot of effort put into custom collision, and this was a tech demo map showing off a lot of that. Crimson Boss by Spiraler, porting. Do you remember what it is exactly?
I Want to Kill the Camella 2. It's a boss from Camella 2. I don't remember the exact name, but it is a boss from that, and it is a very faithful adaptation with the Dustforce movement, which is honestly pretty impressive.
Featuring Peter Griffin.
Yep.
Crucifixion and Crucifixion by Spiraler for the custom map race. Both of those paired up with a cool little script that adds a lot of challenge in the level. You'll just have to try them out yourself. We got Pinata Party. You're hitting a pinata around, hitting a tire around above you and dodging other stuff. You know, pretty cool, unique kind of level. And Yin and Yang, doing a lot of unique things with layers and transitions. The way that it manages how tiles work and switching between the two levels is pretty technically impressive, but I might sound a little biased on that.
You did a good job explaining it, at least, so it is pretty impressive. So, without further ado, the second place for Technical Achievement Award goes to Crimson Boss. As one of the judges on this category, I was just absolutely impressed with how the boss was recreated pretty much extremely faithfully to the original. Peter Griffin being there is a nice touch, but just the amount of different things that happen when either the boss gets to low health or killing, the platforms moving, the apples flying at you. Just all in all, a really impressive map, and I think it's really cool that this is made. But yeah. It is, as Qatar says, it is really hard to play. The fact that Uber got an SS on that is just insane. Such a difficult map, especially with Dustforce movement, but nonetheless, it's so cool. Congrats. And the number one Technical Achievement Award goes to Collider's Demo by Weejo. Congratulations. Collider's Demo is just extremely cool to me because of all the stuff that it has in its scripts that allows you to make custom collision.
Really what puts it over the edge here is how transferable these scripts are to other maps. It's surprisingly easy to use in other kinds of maps, and there were other maps based around it.
Yep.
That got released throughout the year.
Yeah. For example, you can very easily move different vertices very easily and change it. And the fact that this all just works pretty naturally is pretty awesome. Really, it's absolutely insane stuff, and massive props to Weejo for making this. I can't wait to see how much further the script goes and see what else could happen with it. I hope, as Paul says, I hope there are more maps that are able to use this effectively, because it's really cool. Spinning blocks, all these custom ones, and then it being able to have having like basically spikes on them and then also dust. Really cool stuff, and really impressive how fast this was made. I think Vjo made this in like a week, which is pretty impressive too. Dust does have some issues, but that's about it. That's the only critique on Collider's demo, is that the dust doesn't work. The next category is best meme map. So anyone want to add some additional stuff for it?
Every year we go through a pretty big process to look at all the meme maps, and it's hard to be objective here, so we don't really care that much. There's just we just do this kind of stuff for fun, just a side category, vote on the best meme map out of all the meme maps that were in there.
Yep. Whatever makes the judges laugh the most. So the 5 nominees are C is for Camera by Mosso, D is for Dust Kid by Uckies, D is for Dust Spread by Rodent, Downhill with Tires, and Supremely Difficult 3.
Three map jam maps as well.
Yeah.
2 of them in the D's.
Yeah. The early half of the alphabet was pretty funny this year. So
wait, there's also 3 maps that start with D in this list, as it turns out.
D is just a really funny letter, guys.
Speaking for all of these individually, C is for Camera, and Downhill with Tires. If you haven't played either of these maps, you should really go and play them.
Yeah.
Both of these maps are fantastic line playthrough type maps. Highly recommended.
Yeah, you should play through all of these, honestly. All of these are really good maps to play through and just take a look at.
Yeah, especially Supremely Difficult 3 here.
Yeah.
That's really the kind of map that you can just play on stream and enjoy it, as I'm sure everybody is used to doing with any map named Supremely Difficult.
Exactly. D is for Dust Spread. Plays exactly like Dandelion feels like when you play it at times.
Yeah.
And D is for Dust Kid. Not much needs to be said about this. Really good original track by Uckies that elevated this map to a significant degree in my eyes.
Yeah. So, without further ado, the number 2 best meme map of the year is C is for Camera by Mosso. I know part of this map was shown in the JVC clip, but trust me, just play this map blind if you haven't already. It's so good. It's amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot more depth to it than just one joke.
Yeah.
It's not just one clip that puts it this high up there.
It's honestly one of the funniest maps on Atlas that I can think of. It's so good, and Mosso did a great job making this. Yeah, and True Noob, as True Noob says, don't forget to light the apple at the end.
Yes.
Yeah, if you ever need to learn the camera mechanics in Dust Force, you need a little tutorial level. This is a good one for it.
Yep, and you can very easily open an editor and copy exactly what Mosso does.
Yep.
We need more maps with good cameras, and I'm glad Mosso's spreading the word. And the number 1 best meme map of the year, D is for Dust Kid. I don't know why my keyboard double tapped there. D is for Dust Kid. Absolutely amazing map by Uckies. I don't really have much else to say. It's just an amazing map, an amazing soundtrack, and let me get this up real quickly, because wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, and give it a listen.
Yep. Accidentally popped up the wrong thing. I'm staying here a bit longer so we can hear the music. Dust Kid is my favorite character. Uckies, how long did it take you to make this song? It seems like you made this like pretty quickly. 1 hour before the CMJ deadline. Holy shit. That's insane. And I think the other thing that helps push it over the edge too is the books hidden at the very top of the map as well that sometimes just clip out of bounds and soft lock you.
Another fun fact about the map is it won't actually finish if you have music off. That's part of the script is that if music's not on, the flag goes away.
Wait, really? No way. I never knew that. That's amazing. There's a little bit of heresy in the leaderboards though, with people playing Dustman though. I think we need a couple more Dust Kids to play in the leaderboards to get top 10 all Dust Kid.
I think a better idea is get the All-Star on it, personally.
Nah, we need top 10 Dust Kid. Dust Kid sweep incoming. As much as I want to have this song keep playing, I don't want to stall on this for too long so we can continue everything else.
Yeah, this is the final side category. We have all the main categories next to look at. In these ones, they get a bit more attention by the judges in terms of how they're more thoroughly looked at. In particular, most of them are judged based on criteria, with the exception being the first one on the list, most innovative. So most innovative, we got a lot of cool, unique maps that came out this year. In terms of how this category is handled, let me read off some of the notes about this. So there are a lot of different factors that the judges take into account. The idea or uniqueness of the level, that's one of the first pretty obvious ones. Actually being innovative in some way. It does seem like a prerequisite, doing something new, obviously. The playability of the map, we do care that the idea is expressed well when it comes to the quality of this idea. Fun's a little bit of a consideration too when it comes into if it's playable, is it fun as well. How well did you pull off the idea as a whole? Are you kind of recognizing what this idea is to its full potential? And you can also consider the synergy that it has with Dustforce as a whole. So a lot of these maps, there's still Dustforce, but they're doing unique things within Dustforce that you can kind of contribute to advancing Dustforce maps as a whole, if you will. It's pretty lofty way to put it. But another way to say it is just cool stuff with scripts of maps that stood out for being unique. We're just trying to celebrate some cool ideas, and how much are we building upon Dustforce at the same time?
Yep.
And we have quite a varying selection of entries here, each one doing quite unique different things. Not all being, just new scripts. Some of them using Z triggers in special ways too.
Yep.
Some puzzle maps made the list.
The nominees for this category are Asymmetry by Nijama, Applefall by Weejo, Crimson Boss by Spiraler, Crucifixion and Crucifixion by Spiraler as well, Impossible Challenge by Miles, That's Slightly Difficult by Jake, Tag Team into Your Mess by True Noob, Touchscreen by Spiraler, and Yin and Yang by Zonda and Camel. So let's just kind of spend some time talking about all these maps and why they were nominated. Asymmetry by Nija. It was nominated because it was a very unique way to have it was a unique puzzle, having light attacking gargoyles and using them to help navigate through the map. Pretty fun puzzle map. Applefall by Weejo. As we talked about earlier, there's a lot of unique ways that apples were used. Crimson Boss by Spiraler. I mean, it's a full-on boss fight in Dustforce. It is pretty innovative and pretty cool. Crucifixion and Crucifixion. Very cool script with the plus shaped laser beam. There's
really making it unique to play through the levels. You have to think about where you're gonna be by the time that the next laser goes off.
Mm-hmm. And then Crucifixion making it even harder of a challenge by making it faster. Impossible Challenge by Miles, a very cool, unique twist that hasn't been seen before in Dust Force, with forcing you to complete stuff in a certain amount of time, and you have to go fast. That's slightly difficult by This Is Not Jake. As mentioned earlier, it's another pretty fun lighting puzzle, very unique, very fun, just lighting stuff to get, and using that to help get across gaps.
Yeah, a lot of its innovation comes from how it is being unique in the kind of improvements that it makes for the player. You know, like speeding up various prisms and how the layout of the map works as a whole.
Yep. Tag Team in Your Mess by True Noob. Very cool to see character swap maps, especially more puzzly character swap maps, where you have very unique ways on how they're both done.
Both long form and with using all of the characters.
Yep, even boss mode too, which is pretty cool, which I already mentioned earlier, but yeah. And then Touchscreen by Spiraler. It's, well, you control it with the mouse. You control all your actions with the mouse other than the moving part. It is like literally like you're playing on a DS. It's really cool, really awesome stuff to see. And finally,
also, it was made during the 12 Days of Alice.
True, yeah.
As said earlier, won the 12 Days of Alice side category.
Yep. And then Yin and Yang by Zonda and Camel. Just another really cool map showing off layer switching and just, layer switching and gameplay layers being different, swapping between two maps that are already well known and well played. Just very cool stuff. Very, very cool stuff that I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed all these maps a lot. And without further ado, let's get into it.
So, for how all of these main categories were judged up until overall, top 5 winners for each of these are going to get payout. We had a new record of $780 prize pool raised for the map competition. So I was able to spread out the payout a lot deeper across all the categories. So top 5 are going to get a little bit in the main categories, and top 8 in overall.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll post all the full payouts and stuff and the full results after the competition stream's over.
Yep. Let's get into the top 5. We're gonna show replays for more maps other than just the winner. 5th place for most innovative goes to Impossible Challenge by Miles. As mentioned earlier, it's a very, very cool thing, a very cool, unique twist on showing off like maps going on forcing you to go fast and using the delayed teleport stuff that has been used. It hasn't been used this way before in maps, and it's a really cool challenge, really fun map. It's a very unique way of forcing you to go pretty fast, because these are just, the time limits are based on Miles' best time, but making it just slightly more lenient.
Yeah, I'd really like to see a couple more of these maps. I think this is a very expandable type script that I could see a ton of people using in the future.
Yep. Very cool uses of triggers too, swapping between all 4 of these. There's also a scout ahead one, so you're allowed to use the script to look around and see all the stuff that you have to do first. Very cool stuff by Miles, and massive congratulations on making it to the top 5 of most innovative. All right. 4th place for most innovative goes to Applefall by Weejo. Another just really, really cool map. Really, I keep accidentally clicking the wrong thing. Let me get the replay link up. Here, Applefall. Just a really cool spin on apples. A unique way to use apples, using some of them to regain air charges and having to drop them off in certain spots, certain areas spawning apples. I think it's a really cool thing, and there could be a lot of interesting stuff done with this if people decide to start using the script more. really cool showcase of what can be done, and I hope it'd be cool to see more maps like this. Very, another just pretty cool map with a lot of different scripting stuff showing apples falling, spawning, and all the other stuff you have to do.
Yeah, this is wild. I've also never seen this map before.
It's really cool. Number 3, for most innovative, goes a touchscreen by Spiraler. Let me get this up. The
Such a
touchscreen.
beautiful map.
Yeah.
This is such a perfect idea for the theme of that day.
Yeah, having to having to use mouse aiming in order to hit everything. And also this one's You go, sorry.
Continue, sorry.
You go.
Oh. We've had, I think, 1 or 2 other maps that used mouse controls. I think there's been a RuneScape themed map at some point.
There was, yeah.
But this one, honestly, I think the very rushed, put together visuals in the bottom really just put this map together.
True.
For
Also,
me.
I agree with that. I'm playing this replay again just because this is actually just a fucking insane replay. Like, I don't know. This is just
try to
absurd.
show a more normal experience.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Yeah. If you can't really see it in this replay, but how you have to play this map is you have to click each of those buttons individually with your mouse and do movement with whatever hand you do movement with.
Yeah. Let's show what this is
so
like.
This
is
this
glass.
ends up being a fair bit more difficult than it may appear from a top replay.
Yeah, very hard to actually do. Very rough to get used to, but it's just so cool. It's such a really cool, innovative thing to do. Should we show the whole replay or just kind of end it soon?
We're already halfway through. Might as well just continue.
Yeah. I would have shown my replay on this, because I think I actually had the slowest time, but I had replay submission off, so unfortunate.
I don't think I ever finished this one. I think I got to this room and then stopped on the couple of times I've played it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Let's go, GG Glass.
Sometimes the maps are pretty tough.
Yeah. This especially just breaks your muscle memory people have with thousands of hours in this game.
Yeah.
And number 2, most innovative map. Crucifixion and Crucifixion by Spiraler. Absolutely just really cool maps. I like these a lot. I'm going to show off Crucifixion to show off what it's like faster and with it being faster.
So every few seconds, the lasers go off, and those are gonna kill you, which you're not gonna see in the SS experience, but will experience for yourself if you try it out.
Yep.
Yeah, those lasers are much harder to dodge than replays will make it appear.
Yep.
Making the end look good.
Yeah. All the a lot of the judges were in agreement that it'd be cool to see more stuff like this. Like this has potential. Like having this as a plugin potentially could lead to some really cool stuff. Like having this as a plugin could lead to some really cool stuff.
Ooh, actually, yeah, I could.
Music's kind of loud. All right, let me turn it down. Thank you, guitar. I think it's probably just mostly this map thing, but we'll see. True Noob is actually going for a dashless run on this map, and just want to wish you good luck on that, because this is definitely a pretty hard map. Number 1 for most innovative. Wait, let me slow. And without further ado, the number 1 map for most innovative map is Yin and Yang by Zonda and Camel. Just an absolutely insane, really cool map to have all the cool character all the gameplay transitions on between layers. This is showing Camel's replay as one of the people who worked on the map. Having it flow so well with the swap is amazing, and alongside having the yin and yang to swap between gameplay layers is really cool. And I feel like it also does add some. It also does. Yeah, it's just really well made, and I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it's a really well done map, very unique, and it's just fun. I mean, really, at the end of the day, that's all you're looking for in a map a lot of the times.
Yeah, agreed. This is a really fun map, and I absolutely adore it. It's so fun. Really, and it's also really cool to have. The way it was released is also pretty cool too. That oh yeah, true. Good point by Chernoop. The fact you have each second, it gives you time to appreciate / react to the swaps, which is also a very cool, neat little touch. I've actually never thought about until now.
Oh, you were a judge too.
Yeah. I was a judge for this, and I never realized I never realized that could actually be the reason for it. I just thought it was really cool thematically. Really cool. It's a really nice way to press the buttons.
Yeah, that's definitely part of the process that's intended. It eases the transition because if you notice how the layers work, the fog trigger changing as you do the transitions, that's something that allows you to kind of shift your focus. It makes everything more solid colors, for instance, kind of to prepare you mentally for the switch.
Yeah.
You might as well open up an editor a tiny bit just to show that it is really a pretty detailed, kind of put together system. You can see desert and depth.
Yep, right here for
in there at the same time. Obviously, it depends on the fog tree you're looking at, but every single square there is covered by some tile.
Yep.
Throughout the entire map. Tiles everywhere.
Very just impressive map, and just it's so cool. Such a fun map. Yeah. Go back to the community slides. Congratulations to everyone for winning Most Innovative. Very cool category, and I'm really happy to see more maps try to push innovation. It's really cool to see unique things in a game this old and see new things done. Great work, everyone, and I'm happy to see what comes next for the future of this category.
I always have high hopes for Most Innovative every year.
Same. The next category is Best Gameplay. So, do you want to explain how this was judged, Zonda?
Yeah, so Best Gameplay, this is the start of where we use criteria to judge, and these scores will be released, after the stream, like I said. There's 4 different types of criteria. We ended up using the same that we've used in the past, so this might sound familiar to some of you that remember it. The first one on the list is first impression. So, how's the level the first time you play it? Is it something that you understand? Can you read it? This can have a little bit of overlap with the aesthetic appeal of the level. If you can't understand where to go, then that's a bit of a problem with first impression sometimes. Is the level immediately engaging? Is a pretty important way to think about this. So, in difficult levels, they have to kind of interest you, the player, to actually keep playing them and actually go for that SS. And that kind of gets into the second piece of criteria, which is replayability, which essentially just means, are you willing to play the level for an extended period of time? So that can sometimes mean grinding really hard for a good run in DLC. In DLC setting, which all of these maps happen to be DLC maps. Slight coincidence, you could say. A lot of people are more willing in that kind of environment because these are the maps that they're getting. They're interested in this kind of gameplay to go for those keys on DLC maps. So kind of putting them all against each other is a little bit fun to think, all right, well, which ones really were the most appealing to grind for that extended period of time. And sometimes for harder levels, that can also just mean, just getting an SS on it. Really hard levels out there. Replayability basically just means how long are you willing to play it. So just get an SS. Can be enough for some people. The third main criteria, that's flow. Is it fun to play? Pretty simple at its core. But you kind of get the feel for the level as a whole the more you play it. Bit ambiguous of a category to just kind of throw in there, honestly. A lot of this is credit to Dustforce, the flow in the game of all of these levels. So when I think of levels with good flow, I'm thinking about levels that use good pacing or have an appropriate challenge that matches with how Dustforce flows naturally. So if it has something that breaks flow, like weird spikes in difficulty or unusual or awkward spacing somewhere, then that's something that would result in a lower flow score. But all of these obviously are very solid maps, so when talking about how to score any of these maps against each other, we're comparing against the other maps, not just like, out of all of the maps of all time. When we're talking about how to score maps, we're not talking about like everything's an 8 or 9 out of 10. We're trying to use the whole scale, like 1 to 10, in terms of actually finding meaningful separation between the maps to compare them. So the final thing on the list is called niche, which basically summarizes the idea that, is the map good at what it's trying to do? If it's a boost map, is it a good boost map? Does it fill its niche appropriately? So if it's a hard map or requires routing decisions, is it good at that? Sometimes a level can be linear and feel good because it's linear, or it could feel linear and the lack of options feels too limiting and bad as a result. All these maps, obviously, they're really solid on all of these 4 pieces of criteria that I mentioned, but you gotta really talk about each one kind of in detail to pick which ones stand out above the others. And like I said, we got a big list of DLC maps, so these are levels everybody may have played a lot already.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stay in too long on all of them, but all of these maps all do have really good gameplay, and I had a lot of fun grinding all of these. So the nominees, or the finalists for best gameplay, are Barren Burrow by This Is Not Jake, Depth by Camel, Desert DX by Zonda, Lavender by Indapop and Miles, Nietzo Techniche by Uckies, Night Dust by Test, Syzygy by Miles, and then Yin and Yang by Zonda and Camel. The 5th place for best gameplay is Syzygy by Miles. Very cool routing. It's a very cool routing map. There's a lot of different ways for routing it. In fact, let me show you one of the ways it was routed to. This is Uckies replay on Syzygy. It's a very cool style to have a very routing heavy super, like basically trying to determine what the best spots to super are. And there's a lot of different routes that you can go for in this map.
We tried to change things up a little bit when it came to design of DLC 6 maps. We were coming off of CC 5 being the main thing about DLC 5. So a lot of DLC 5 was very linear. So we wanted to start DLC 6 off with something with a lot more decision making. And when I first asked Miles, like, hey, do you want to make a map for DLC 6? It'd be cool if we had a long form routing kind of map, and I can make it kind of the main focus of the week. Miles did a really good job with it.
Yep. I also like the addition of there being less dust required for super. I think it's a really cool way to add even more super routing options.
Yeah, that's definitely a strength when it comes to DLCs. We've seen it a lot more in the past with levels that have to do with super routing. So the the super routing as a part of Syzygy is very important to its design. Lots of different rooms you can super.
Yeah. Congratulations to Miles for getting fifth. Next, 4th place for best gameplay goes to Desert DX by Zonda. A very fun map to grind and play. I mean, we've all played it, we've all grinded it. It just flows really well, and it's a very cool challenge to have a no dying boost map that actually is pretty challenging. There's a lot of different ways to set up boosts, and it's all just compounded onto each other. You just need to get good boost after good boost after good boost to keep getting more and more speed and keep maintaining it. Very good map. Also, I love the Big Lebowski reference at the start in the map description. Just absolute banger.
Very related to gameplay.
Yeah, I just had to throw it out there though. Number 3 for best gameplay goes to Depth by Camel. Another very fun very fun map from the Yin and Yang series. Very fun gameplay. I like this a lot. I like both Desert and Depth a lot. This was a really fun map, and I liked all the basic different ways he had to get boosts and just how much speed you're able to get. A very fun map, and it was a really fun grind. Very difficult and technical too.
Desert is more about many slant boosts and not quite as high speed boosts. Depth is a lot more about those higher speed boosts and setting them up.
Yep. Number 2 for best gameplay, Baron Burrow by This Is Not Jake. Another really fun DLC 6 map. Voted best map in DLC 6. Is just a really fun. It flows really well. It feels really nice to play. It's really good. Let me show you the man replay on this. It was really cool seeing how close Man and Worth were on this stage, which was a bit off topic, but the map just feels really nice to play. It flows really well. I enjoy it a lot. It's a lot of fun. I really like I just love how it feels to play, and I love it being tied together with the dust block bridges you jump back on, or if you have someone slip reversal on. Just a really, really cool map.
Similar to the style decisions for design with Syzygy, when I was talking with Jake originally about making a DLC 6 map, I was looking for some longer, more difficult maps. It was nice to see Baron Burrow come out of that.
Yep. It's a very fun, hard map. Very good.
At its time, one of the longest DLC maps.
Yep. I think it actually, at the time of it coming out, I think it was the second longest, which is a really cool fact.
Yeah, not counting CC5 as an exception.
Yeah. Yeah. And number 1, the winner of best gameplay this year, Yin and Yang by Zonda and Camel. Congratulations. I've already talked about why I like this map and most innovative. The fact it's 2 maps put together and it still flows really, really well. It's just an amazing map. It was made. This was the original product, so that was the made intention with it, or like made with it. Just really fun, really flowy gameplay. And as a DLC map, it's one of the few DLC maps that even after grinding it, I've had urges to come back and be like, hey, I want to play this even outside of DLC. Just a really fun map, flows really well. Congratulations to everyone best gameplay finalist.
Yeah, the only thing I'll really add here is that between depth and desert, yin and yang was always the way that the levels were meant to be played. So in a way, the kind of filler map content in both depth and desert, that was only for those particular levels. And we always wanted yin and yang to be the exact order that this is.
Yep.
So really, we ended up with the best of both worlds, Roy.
Literally true, yeah. Really good map. And that's all.
Not rigged, by the way.
True.
I was not a judge.
Actually true though, yeah, Zonda was not a judge for this.
Even Camel sat out of judging this year.
That's all we have for best gameplay. Now let's move on to best aesthetics.
Yeah, so aesthetics, we have a little bit of overlap there, but it turns out that when it comes to aesthetics, we still are going to judge it mostly the same way. This one saw a little bit more shifting in how the criteria was graded, I guess, compared to previous years. We added a new one. So a new one on the list was use of color. So we wanted to say, like, you know, not only is the level polished, is it visually striking? Is it using colors in a satisfying way? How would it associate colors with gameplay or theming? In levels that may not have as strong use of color, is there perhaps too much of it? So there's too much contrast. Is there too much noise to look at on screen at a time? And a lot of these levels obviously do it well. You know, you can think about some of these, and we're gonna look at several of them, and really kind of look into the little pieces of detail that add the polish to the levels. Because sometimes when you look at them and you're not looking at them in editor or anything like that, you might actually miss a few little cool things. But sometimes that's a good thing. You know, it's part of the design to keep things subtle and not distracting a lot of the time. Often, a lot of the things that I've done in my own maps is like little scripts just to improve the little pieces here and there. You know, like it was pointed out the more obvious scripts in Yin and Yang, for example, but that's very clearly overt compared to, say, things in the background on levels like, I mean, honestly, all of these levels. They've always got a little bit going on there that you just got to look for.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to be looking into these very well, because we're going to be looking in the editor for all these maps and showing off what they look like. So, the nominees, the finalists for Best Aesthetics are Baron Burrow by This Is Not Jake and Zonda, Depth by Camel and Zonda, Desert DX by Zonda, Foggy Doggy Boggy by JVC Pro and Zonda, Night Dust by Tess and Big Diesel, Treetops by Maso, Walls by Dello, and Yin and Yang, also by Zonda. There's a name I had to repeat there a few times. I wonder who that was.
Yeah, I did happen to do the art on Baron Burrow and Foggy Doggy Boggy and Depth.
Yep.
And the ones I uploaded. But not the other ones.
Yeah. In 5th place, for Best Aesthetics, Foggy Doggy Boggy by JVC and Zonda. I guess
bit of a dark horse pick in my opinion here. I was a little surprised to see this one make it this far, because I remember when I was making it, you know, I just kind of put some cool stuff in the background. I was like, what do you think of this, JVC? Yeah, sure, I'll do the art for you. Just make a map. I don't want you to do the art. I just want you to make a map. And it turns out that worked out pretty well.
Yep. Because everyone was.
I think Zonda's underselling it. I think the background on this map is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. There's a lot of neat little effects here. There's lighting effects. There's. Would you like me to go more in detail on how some of the stuff was done, or do you just want me to point stuff out?
I mean, it's just an overview.
Okay. There's a fog.
This one's definitely subtle about how it handles a lot of it, but there's only one script that's in use here when it comes to the background. There's a custom particle script that comes with a cloud image that I happen to use in 2 different ways on this level. The first is the actual fog in parallax layers in the background. So, you know, pretty good use of parallax overall. Not biased, by the way. Not a judge. But, you know, just a little bit of bog detail in the fog. And then the fog itself is just very thin moving layers of the cloud image. And then the light rays, the God rays coming in, those are using the exact same cloud image, but it's treated similarly, like particles, very stretched out and, you know, made more evident to look like a light ray. You know, little subtle kind of movements of each of the pieces. Personally, one of the things that I like to do when doing art on a level is have things be slowly moving. You know, just have something that you can just kind of sit there and look at. So if you just open the level, you just sit there and can watch it just do its thing. That's something that I personally value a lot when it comes to aesthetics.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of the things on this set are stuff I agreed with, and how I mostly and are things I said while judging, and thought and brought up while judging the map. Really beautiful map.
I suspect ABC was the one to pay off judges Aki's.
Yeah. Really beautiful map. Really funny how the absurdity of this map being as big of a worth map as it is led to us not focusing as much on the background. It's a real shame because it's a beautiful map and I'm glad it's getting the attention it deserves. Also, thank you, Qatar, for letting me know about the detail getting lost in bitrate. I'll make sure I'm a bit more careful about that in the future maps.
Right. It's fine. You just don't want to move the camera too much.
Yeah. Alright. And 4th place for Best Aesthetics. Walls by Dello. Really, a really nice map. Let me get that up real quickly.
Now we'll go into the scoring later when I'll reveal the scoring when I post the full results. But the top 4 of Best Aesthetics was actually all very close. We were only separated by a 6-point difference, I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, 8-point difference. But very, very close in terms of all this stuff. Walls did a phenomenal job when it came to handling the background. It has a very detailed tiling, using props in place of all of the tiles that people are normally used to. So
yeah.
Very unique kind of theme too, based off of Kowloon, one of the densest city environment you could think of. You know, you can see kind of the inspiration if you go find some Google Images or anything like that.
Yep. I'm a big fan of I'm a big fan of the backgrounds on this map. It looks really good. I love the ambience on it. I'm especially a big fan of these neon signs here. They're really cool on the way, and I really liked how they were taken as a screenshot and put in as so to reduce lag, because these were very intense originally, like graphically intensive. It's a lot of really cool details.
My when working with Dello a little bit, preparing for DLC 6, I gave him the you may notice the same light ray script from Foggy Doggy Boggy, doing double time in the top 5. And I also took his very ellipse heavy signs and turned them into just normal images, put them down. So Dello making very little use of any scripts on the level, you know, just a couple very minor things. A lot of this done, you know, even without copy paste, just kind of throw a lot of mess down, fitting to the theme.
Yep. Let me also show off the balcony parallax I was brought up in chat too.
Yeah, there's a little layer 20 parallax.
Yeah, right here. balcony parallax right here when moving across this area. Adds a lot of depth to the balcony sticking out as well. It's used a lot in a lot of different balconies here. There's also a lot of neat touches, like even outside here, with parts where you don't even play, just way outside. It's just a beautiful map to take in and look at throughout everything.
Yeah, lots of little details.
Yeah. You could get lost in this map for a while just looking at everything. And it's very fitting for the top 5 best aesthetics. Oh, yeah, I see that, Arb. I see that.
Also, the script from some Delo and C maps for light sources. You can see one of those too. Entity Outliner uses light sources. So if you're within the circle, you'll get a little bit of an Entity Outliner around you. And if you're outside of it, you'll have the shadow.
Yep.
So you may notice a slight black outline around the player outside of it, but it turns to more yellow when you're inside the circles.
Yep. More of a black, and yeah. Very nice looking map. It's really good. I like it. Very deserving of top 5 best aesthetics. Congratulations. Let's go back to the best aesthetics. So, as mentioned earlier, they were very close to each other, and that actually led to a tie for second place. And the two winners of number 2 best aesthetics that were tied were Depth by Camel and Yin and Yang by Zonda and Camel. Very beautiful map. Zonda did a great job on the aesthetics of them. Let me show off Depth. Let me show off what Depth looks like aesthetically.
The two are really interesting because they're really good in a lot of different ways. Which one did you say you're going to show first?
Depth. I'm showing Depth.
Yeah, Depth is, I would say, more so a kind of standard visuals. You know, looks really nice. It fits the theme very well. Yin and Yang, it plays a lot more into how it interacts with the gameplay and makes sure that Yin and Yang can meet its theme properly and still be playable. And
Very
those
different
are
qualities leading to the same tie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very, very different challenges in aesthetics for both of these maps.
Yeah.
Yin and Yang further hidden in DLC by how visually different Desert and Depth are. You wouldn't really suspect that they're related maps with them being so clearly designed so differently. You know, very different decisions. If you're trying to play a replay, it's not shown on screen, by the way.
Oh, shit. I was. Oops, thank you. Oh, well. Do I just...
Oh, nice, the end of the replay. You might as well just play it again.
Yeah, I'll play it again.
Play it again.
Thank you for the reminder.
Depth doesn't have too much going on in terms of scripts. It has 2 important ones. The first one being the prisms are actually handled a little bit differently. That's actually a custom image that emphasizes the outline and makes the inner section of the prism more transparent. It adds a little bit of glow around the borders too, and there's a script that handles the glow once you, when the prism's there and after you hit it, it fades away. The background has a little bit of, it has a very detailed layered texture usage to it. So there are multiple textures and they're moving, you know, kind of water-like, hence the theme. So I was personally careful about making sure that the background didn't just look too repetitive. You know, it's similar, but it's not obviously tired when it comes to when you really start to look at it. You know, one of those things that, like I was saying with Foggy Doggy Boggy, when you look at it, you just get to take it all in. You know, kind of subtle, moving in the same direction of the player. You know, just a nice kind of thing to just watch.
Yep. Very beautiful. Very nice looking, very, very fitting of the watery caves. The
Yeah,
aesthetic
in
does.
contrast to Foggy Doggy Boggy as well, Foggy Doggy Boggy has a lot of stuff going on in the background, whereas comparatively, there's not a whole lot of tiles in this, but none of it looks off. It looks exactly like you would expect it to.
Yeah, it is another nice map to just sit here and just watch and get lost in everything here. Very good, very beautiful looking map.
The tile design is also fairly unique in terms of how it's put together. We actually see a lot of that across all of the finalists. There's been a lot of use of invisible tiles to make, good use of different layers being colored differently in the fog triggers. So in particular, this one gets to use invisible tiles as a way to further emphasize the specific tiles that are underneath them for collision. So yeah, you can take out all of the finalists and really peel apart the layers and get an understanding of how they're put together. Just a fun little thing to do.
Yep.
Very detailed tile work in all the maps that we've seen. And again, all the links for all of the finalists are available in the announcements channel if you want to check any of these out yourself.
Yeah. I'm not sure if this was mentioned already, but I really like the bubble effects that appear from the dust and the prisms when you attack them too.
Yeah, that was actually that was Camel's contribution to the art here. Camel made the particles. So not me alone. I was like, Camel, make a camera and particles, and I'll finish the rest.
Yeah, it's a really nice map, a really fun map, really nice, very good looking map. Yeah, Camel with the heavy lifting, obviously. Just really nice looking map. It flows well. It flows very well, and I love how it looks. Yin and Yang, we aren't going to show right now because we've already kind of shown how it looked aesthetically earlier while we showed off there.
You already got to see how it's put together.
Yeah, it's and number one for the best aesthetics of the year. Oh wait, why did the arrow? Desert DX by Zonda. I love this map. It looks so nice. I'm a massive fan of this map. Let's go watch a replay of it and show off what it is. There's a lot of stuff happening in the background here too. Do you want to talk about what went into
Sure.
Desert DX, Zonda?
So what I was saying earlier, and I don't think you're showing the replay again, by the way.
Oh. I don't know why I keep doing that. Thank you.
It's fine. What I was saying earlier with things to look at in the background, Desert's full of it. There's a lot of clouds in the background that, represent sand. There's a bunch of particles that move with the player and the camera. We have the same kind of prism effect that was talked about. But the main part of Desert has to be the sunrise. So gradually over the course of minute and a half as you play the level, and also as you hit prisms, you'll notice that whenever you hit a big prism and some little prisms in the right corner of the screen, there's going to be occasional little sun rays come up. Just little subtle things that happen and advance the sunrise. The clouds in the background, the ones on top of the level, those are multi-layered and are lit up by the sun. We have lighting that progresses as the level goes farther to the right. Eventually the sun will rise over the mountains in the background. You can kind of take in all the effects. Obviously we're working with two different but similar fog triggers too. We've got just a lot of little things going on in Desert. I did kind of hint multiple times during DLC that I was planning to release a finished version of Desert, and I'll just call it Desert DX for fun. It turns out that I was actually making Yin and Yang, but I remembered to post this by the end of the year. Got
Yep.
it in time.
Some other cool things I want to bring up too is there's the use of ellipse props to make the darker areas look way darker during these sections here over top. The the prop work with the clouds for these tiles here.
Yeah,
just-
like depth, the tiles are put together in a particular way. So I happen to align most of the cloud props in a way that lines up with the direction the sun is. You know, kind of careful with how I'm using the visible tiles. This is technically the opposite of how depth works, with some collision tiles being a certain way and other ones being invisible tiles. But you know, pretty cool use of scripts, I would say, for combining everything. There's
Yeah.
also a similar small amount of layer 20 parallax on the front sand dunes, but they're out of the way. You know, when I use layer 20, I try to make sure something you don't really notice. It's just one of those subtle things that you kind of have to look for to pay attention. Or you have to be looking for that kind of stuff so it's not distracting.
Yep.
Yeah,
Also,
they got little particles too.
let me real quickly let's turn up speed so you get to see the sunrise in a spot where you can see it a lot better and also see it faster. Put it at 8 times speed. So you can just see how this is how it slowly appears throughout the stage.
Yeah. There are randomly generated sun rays that happen as it, you know, increases. It only takes about a minute and a half to reach the top. Yeah, the sun stops.
Yep.
I didn't really want the sun to keep going. I thought
Yeah.
about it.
That's fair.
Otherwise, it would break the illusion with the sun rays a little too much.
Yeah. I also love the particle work at the start of the map too. Like that's here. I love this particle work. It's really nice too, and I like the darker colored prisms as well. Just a really nice looking map in general. And all
Yeah,
the
for me,
secret- You go.
The
sorry.
real star of this map is just how the tiles are used to direct the gameplay focus. I think that was done really, really well in this map.
Oh right, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, I agree with that. It shows really nice. You can continue. Sorry.
Yeah, made it very, very readable in DLC when doing first playthroughs of just, oh, here's the tiles you're meant to interact with. You know, you might not use all of them, but it covers most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty important thing through all three of the Yin and Yang maps. We had the same thing happen in depth. Very careful when it comes to how to use tiles to show where the player is supposed to go. You know, where the player is supposed to land as well. That works its way into the synergy aspect. I didn't actually describe all of the pieces of criteria, but visibility and synergy is one of the ones on the list. So synergy in terms of how the aesthetics improve the gameplay. Well, it's on the level to not interfere too much with gameplay and aesthetics. So something just being cool to look at does not necessarily mean it's also fun to play. Something worth taking into account. But you know, all these levels are pretty top quality at a lot of those features by now.
Yeah. It's great to see all the works people have done on the maps aesthetically this past year. It's awesome. It's crazy how much you're able to just take the base Dust Force art and expand upon it and still make it look absolutely beautiful. Congratulations to everyone into Best Aesthetics. Amazing work on all your works, and I'm very excited to see how the best maps look next year or this year.
Invisible tiles appear to be on the rise.
Yep. Very good feature. And now,
yeah, time for map of the year. The real best overall quality maps. So this is a very detailed process. The entire process really does span from the map pack selection. There were 25 people on this team. We got a list later, but the selection of the map pack that just narrows down from all maps that were released in the year to the best of the year map pack. We got it down to 50. From those levels, the maps that were rated the highest, those ones are all nominated for potential finalists. The judges, check out the big list of nominations, further narrow it down. We end up with the top 8, and like I said earlier, top 8 here is all paid out. All the ones that we mentioned in the main category so far get a little money. And we got a cool selection of maps. You may have noticed a little DLC trend, and it's cool to see it. We ask for some very special maps to be made as part of DLC, and it turns out we keep up the split of half of them are DLC 6 and half of them are DLC 7. Very well received maps, very well received events. Might be a little bit of a correlation there.
Asking for good maps gives great maps? No way.
Yeah, all of these maps are judged based on criteria too. Nice almost spoilers.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I didn't spoil anything. That's scary though.
So the criteria for overall, we've already had aesthetics and gameplay. Those are 2 important pieces. So they get summarized as criteria here. Synergy, something tangential but related to aesthetics, how gameplay and aesthetics tie together. Very important when it comes to talking about map design as a whole, not just a little piece of aesthetics or a little piece of gameplay. We're talking about how the pieces of map design as a whole, how it all complements everything within the map. For example, those kinds of little effects that you see as you do things in the level. Does it feel good to do that kind of stuff? Aesthetically, just to play the level, are you doing cool things as you play the level? This also can include things like audio design. It's not just art that you see, and it's not just gameplay. What else is going on in the level that really adds to it? Identity is a concept that basically when you're talking about how memorable maps are, if you're trying to think of this is the boost map and you're trying to think of what the top boost maps ever are going to be, a map that scores well in identity is one that you can remember for things like that. That's the map that did that. Or what are the noteworthy maps that you remember from 2024? These are the ones. So we're looking for memorable maps that have their own personality or style, and often that comes with doing unique things, like unique things within each category or unique as a whole. First impression is the final one. That's got to be one of the most important things when it comes to any kind of design. When someone first experiences something, how is it? Are you willing to take that next step? Are you engaged enough by what you see at first? And there's always a bit of a wow factor there. Is this level gonna wow you? Are you taken aback by anything in particular? And it's all pretty lofty, at the peak. But you can really break it down, kind of to really analyze these maps and talk about the differences of qualities in them. And we got 8 really cool maps to talk about. So, take it away, I guess.
All right. We're going to be showing how each map plays within the top 8. The 8 maps this year for Best Map of the Year are Barren Burrow by This Is Not Jake, Depth by Camel, Desert DX by Zonda, Nietzo Techniche by Uckies, Night Dust by Tess, Syzygy by Miles, and Walls by Dello, and Yin and Yang by Zonda and Camel.
All maps that were nominated in aesthetics and gameplay already.
Yep.
A lot of overlap this year. A little bit unusual compared to other years, but there's always a little bit of overlap.
So without further ado, let's get into the top 8. 8th place for best map of 2024. Tsuzuji by Miles. It's a really cool map. I think it's a really nice map. It does well on its job of trying to be a very routing heavy map. Really fun map in DLC. It's really cool to see all the routes. Like we showed Aki's replay earlier. Here's Camel's route, and immediately there's already a lot of differences between the two and how they play it. Congratulations, very nice map, and it's always pretty awesome to see. It's really cool.
Yeah, it might only be 8th on the list, but you know that's still 8th out of over 500 maps that were released all year.
Yep. There's also pretty cool to have like overgrown spaceship type theme too. That's not one that's really seen much in Dustforth. Really cool to see. Congratulations to Miles for getting top 8.
Yeah, Dello only grinding low percent on this level in DLC.
Yep.
Nothing else. It does have a planned out low percent bonus route too.
It was pretty cool to watch, yeah. A lot of very nice little
pain.
A lot of nice little neat prop works have kind of like the overgrown aesthetic. There's a lot of vines everywhere, a lot of grass, totems, all that. The music is a really big bop too. It fits the vibe of the map really well. It's a really nice map, and it was really fun. It's a really good opener to DLC 6 and the start of having long maps more so frequently in DLC. Really good first introduction. Congratulations. I've already said that a lot, but still. 7th place for best map of 2024. Nitso Techniche by Ukies. Another really nice first round map in DLC 7. Really nice boost map, pretty cool. It was really nice to see Techniche and a very known, very notorious hard map keep its layout and be turned into a pretty technical boost map.
Yeah, a big part of DLC 7 map design was remixes, and this being based on the original Techniche and really taking it to this level of quality, and in a fast boost map, you know, the shortest map on this list. You know, pretty cool to see.
Yeah. And I'm just a big fan of the colors chosen for the Techniche. I really like it. I think Ukies did a good job with it. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this idea of just kind of carving another map out of a large block of map.
Yeah, it's really cool to see everything from as someone who was a big fan of the original map, see it be turned into a boost map like this, and seeing it be also still pretty good. Like, it's a really good layout, pretty fun. I like it. And then also, I shout out to all the Apple percent runs on this map. Those were very interesting. This is also the first map that introduced stuck as well, right? For its invert.
Yeah, that's true.
Very cool neat little touch to have stuck. A fan favorite be debuted on this map. Very nice map. Congratulations, Ukies. Number 6 for best map of the year, Night Dust by Tess and Big Diesel. This is a really, really nice map. I am a big fan of it. The name Night Dust was based off of an ambient album. And I feel like, as someone who's a big fan of that album, I feel like this map fits the song really well. This was a lot of people's favorite map in DLC 6, and I think it's really nice. There's asteroids floating in the background. There's a neat little planet, neat little like solar system stuff. And it's a really cool map. Actually, it was the first big introduction to invisible wall jumps to a lot of people, which is something that's not really used, that hasn't really been used much in Dustforce. And having it be used in a DLC map is actually really cool. Having a lot of different routing options as well regarding if doing it is actually the best option or not.
Yeah, DLC 6 took some cool risks with a lot of cool maps. Night Dust was a good final, like most difficult of the group. to feature the final round of DLC 6.
Yeah.
You can even see the invisible tiles used in this one too.
Invisible tiles on the rise. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the art, like the prop work for the layers. Looks pretty nice. Adds some nice little feature to it. I love the background, especially with the moving asteroids. How do they?
Here the use of invisible tiles, by the way, is primarily so the dust blocks are colored differently than normal tiles. It's also used to kind of differentiate certain kinds of collision in places too, sometimes.
Yeah, it's moving asteroids.
That way the dust blocks are placed within the tiles in a pretty unique way.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool background. Something to just look at.
Yep. Big fan of the asteroids, big fan of the outer space. It's nice. I love the outer space aesthetic. Let's just keep the asteroids in the background for a little bit longer, but congratulations to Tess and Big Diesel for getting 6th. Very good map. A lot of people really liked it, and I'm a really big fan of this map. Now we get into the top 5. 5th place for best map of 2024 is Walls by Dello. Congratulations. You get Walls up. Here we go. We already talked a lot about the aesthetics on this map earlier, and it's just a really beautiful map, and I think it does really well with its theming and execution on its theme. And as someone who's, and just a bit personal, but as someone who even grinded the really stupid super at the end of the map, I still found the map pretty fun gameplay-wise. Like, it was a pretty fun grind, even with the ending being way harder than it should have been for these games.
Still a solid map with solid gameplay, as you can expect from a lot of Dello maps.
Yep.
You know, pretty carefully designed. And good for DLC. A lot of people did like it. Offered a lot of options because it's another one of those kinds of no-dying maps.
Yep.
So, Dello not making too many maps this year, but making a good one.
Mm-hmm. Very good, very good. Congratulations again. There isn't too much more to show it since we showed it in aesthetics, but really good map. Congratulations. 4th place for best map of 2024. Baron Burrow by This Is Not Jake. This right here is very big. This right here was voted as the best map of DLC 6, and we're gonna show the world record on this as opposed to the man record. I already talked about why I like this map a lot, but I think it flows really well. I love the aesthetics on it. Like the moving spotlights in the background has actually been used a lot more ever since this map, after the script was made. Used a lot by Jake and Miles. It just looks really nice, and I'm a big fan of its gameplay.
It really is the whole package when it comes to talking about overall map.
Yeah. I love the particle effects too on the outside as well of the all that. This was voted, as I said earlier, this was voted as best of DLC 6, and I can completely see why. It's a really good map. I love the colors, the use of colors as well on this. I think it's just a really nice map. That's all I really have to say. Really fun to play. I really loved grinding this in DLC. Getting Red Key was really fun. Yeah, the fog effects on the outside are really cool. It's a nice spin on the city thing, because there aren't really many maps that have. Although city is pretty dirty, this is a very unique twist on the really dirty city. And it has executed really, really well. Like with the outside work with the tiles and all the dusty spots everywhere. I think it's really good. I'm a big fan of this map.
Like I said, aesthetics was pretty close, and this did make it as a finalist at least.
Yep. Yeah. This is just a good map. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, very solid map, and it's another one of those maps that even after your DLC grind, I've thought about returning to play more, which shows how good and fun it is. Let's go on. Let's go back. Now we're hitting the top 3 of best maps of 2024. The third best map of 2024, Desert DX by Zonda. Let me go grab. We already talked a lot earlier about the aesthetics of this map and some of the gameplay, but it's just really good. It feels so nice to play. It's really unique. It's really cool to have a no dying hard boost map with a lot of very different with the gimmick of like speed being combined, basically just speed cascading into each other. It's a really nice map and I really enjoy it.
Desert DX technically the only not DLC map on the list, but I mean it was part of Yin and Yang, and Desert is the original still.
Yeah, half and half.
I would
DLC
consider
map.
this basically a DLC map. It's
Yeah.
basically Desert. It just has a little bit extra at the end and some more focus on the visuals.
Yeah. As mentioned earlier, I actually really like the change for the prisms to be a lot darker. I think it fits pretty nice.
One other noteworthy difference between Desert and Desert DX, there's a lot less dust in Desert DX. This was the original intended amount of dust before it got kind of nerfed for DLC purposes. Only 2 pieces of dust in the whole level. You know, really going with the sparse use of dust, fitting a desert.
Yep. Just a really nice map in general. Really good, really fun map. I've already shown off an editor, so I'm not gonna stay here for too long, but again, just enjoying the view of it. And number 2 for best map of 2024, Depth by Camel. Let me get Camel's replay up for this map. I love Depth. I love the gameplay on Depth. It's so fun. It was definitely a pretty hard technical boost map, but I really like it. I think a lot of the judges also really, really liked it too.
Camel managing to defend his own level in DLC.
Yep. Getting world record in the last minute of the deadline, just absolutely insane.
Since we talked about the tile stuff earlier, as you can see in Desert, in Depth, how Depth is played anyway, all the places that you are recommended to interact with have a little bit more of an outline to it.
Yeah.
And the less likely collision areas don't have that same kind of outline, darker outline on the tile edges. Just little details that all add up.
Mm-hmm. I also really like the music touch here is really nice, and I think it fits really well. Another Epon classic, I believe, right?
Yep, the music is from Togacium by Epon in 2022. It was actually the second map. It was the ranked second place map of 2022, in fact, being used for second place again. So shouts to Epon.
Yep.
I asked him for permission to use his music on these maps. Basically day 1 of getting the idea back in June or July, whenever it was.
Yeah.
You know, I knew from the start one of them was going to be an underwater map, and I wanted Togacium's music for it.
It fits really well. I think it fits really, really well. Remember some judges at some point saying they thought this song fits better for Depth than it does for Togacium, which is a silly thing. And with that, there's only one map left remaining for best map of 2024. The winner of the best map of 2024, Yin and Yang by Zonda and Camel. absolute surprise. I never expected this to win. This is, absolute.
I feel like this one shouldn't be a surprise to many people.
Yeah.
The judging was also not very close. This was a very decisive category, it turned out.
Yeah.
Depth and Desert were pretty close for second place, but Yin and Yang solves any problems that people had for the most part for any of this stuff.
Yep. It's just, what else is there to be said about this map? It's just really good looking, really fun to play. It's not a surprise. It's just a really good map, and it was a really fun grind to have at the very end of DLC 7.
Definitely the hardest map to create that I've ever made. I've made some very hard to make maps.
Yeah.
All two of them.
I really wish the making of Depth and Depth, Yin and Yang, and Desert stream wasn't buggy, because it'd be awesome to watch that and link to it, see so we could show people who are interested in how this map was made, how it was done.
Yeah, if anyone has questions on how any of it's put together, feel free to just ask me. It's pretty thorough in terms of how all the scripts work together, and you can see generally how it works in Editor, but it's just the kind of thing that has extra detail that you won't actually notice, like how you need to be worried about loading a lot of the time. It is possible to have issues with dust unloading in certain areas that all needed to be ironed out. Just flipping between two levels is not as easy as you might think. And I don't think anyone actually thought it was easy from what I've talked to people about. I probably thought it was easier than it really was.
Yeah.
But then I had to do it, and there were some problems to solve.
The fact this was made in 3 months, right? That's actually pretty insane.
I mean, more like 1 month.
Oh wow.
The art was then also, so it was kind of like 1 month make gameplay, and then it all came out at the same time because of Desert, because Desert needed to show the gameplay of Depth. I only had to do art after that point. So Yin and Yang was totally gameplay ready before Desert was released, which meant that Desert was limited on time for art polish on its release. Hence the later Desert DX, some unused fog triggers.
Yep, there's a lot of stuff here.
Depth got a little bit more time to work on the art, and Yin and Yang just had to iron out the little details and recombine the levels once I put the polish in.
Yep.
So technically a 2-month thing.
Pretty impressive stuff.
Had the idea back before CMR, because the theme does work very well for CMR. It is light and dark after all. The map art on the original Desert was basically ramen. This map was definitely not ramen by any way of saying ramen. Basically, Camel and I had to trade off working on the map for every few seconds of gameplay. He makes a few seconds, I make a few seconds. We discovered that it doesn't really flow between the two sections the way that we want it to. We have to adjust our sections. We then also have to make sure that we give space for the other level. You can see as you're playing Yin and Yang the other part of the level, just side by side most of the time. I was pretty particular about the camera with Camel. Make sure you're showing the kind of things that you would normally want to see out of both levels. Pretty tricky to work together on that.
Yeah.
Pretty detailed level.
Yeah.
Not rigged.
True.
I was not actually a judge.
Actually true though, yeah. Not a judge. I'm just playing through the level a bit to kind of show off some of the stuff because it's a little hard to see in editor. Even though most of us have been pretty sure I've already
going the unintended path.
Yep.
Trying to show every way that you can try to break it.
Yeah. There's also trying to show off how like you can still see some of desert in depth and vice versa. Just yeah, a really cool map, and congratulations for winning best map of the year. A lot of hard work went into this, and it's really impressive to see all of it.
Thank you everyone for all your support.
Congratulations everyone. And that's all we have for the best of. There's a lot of fun working on this, and yeah. Thank you everyone.
Yeah, big process. We had a lot of people involved on the next slide. We had 25 people on the team. So thank you to everybody on this list. They all contributed at least a little bit to the judging process and the map pack primarily. You know, a lot of people looking at a lot of maps. That could be you on screen.
Yep.
A lot of people judging different categories. I was pleasantly surprised with the amount of people interested in judging and putting together the map pack. So I ended up doing very little actual judging and basically all managing. And I wouldn't have allowed myself to judge anyway because I kind of ended up as a finalist. You know, once you get to the point where you're able to vote on your own map, your vote doesn't really count anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, Maso got to learn that the hard way too.
Yeah. Maso was a finalist in a bunch of categories.
Yep.
Yeah. Congratulations to everyone for making it, and thank you to everyone who keeps making maps. The map making scene is what helps keep this game alive by far, and it's really awesome to see all the work everyone puts into maps, regardless of how long, what type of gameplay it is, how it's done. Making maps is the best way to help keep this game alive, and it's awesome seeing all the work everyone puts into maps still, even after this game is 13 years old.
Yeah, now there were a lot of cool maps that were in the best of 2024 map pack, but there were a little bit more that are worth recognizing. We put together the 2024 meme map pack, which is now available.
Yep.
So you can update your dust mods and download the 2024 meme map pack. We're just about done the stream, so if any of you want to stream doing this, you know, go through the meme map pack, maybe we'll throw you a raid.
Yep.
So you can enjoy a lot of more avant-garde kinds of maps in the meme map pack. You're in for a few jokes.
Yep.
When you open that up. There are 52 maps that made the cut. I will be posting about this pretty soon. I'll post the full results pretty soon for the competition. There's a big spreadsheet I gotta fill in and make public. But we did have one more little bonus community award to throw out there for most anticipated in 2025. And there are 3 things that made the list. This year, the big votes were all on DLC. So DLC's number 1. It won the DLC 7 won the best event by far. DLC 8 and 9 have high expectations. And so does Cyber Complex 6 and Arbitrary Asian Streaming Career.
Fun fact about this slide, I kept the image in the exact same spot and kept the exact same text from last year. Please just get to Yada, please. We need you. We need you to get Yada.
Yeah, a lot of people excited for the perennial. It's gonna happen next year.
Yeah, trust.
We can only go so many years without an ARB stream.
What about the 2026 slideshow? We can just change it to be ARB sub 150 Yada SS. Easy.
Yeah, ARB Infinity.
True.
I mean, when CC5 came out, we switched this to CC6.
True. I tried to make it more clever by changing the 5 to a 6, but I couldn't get the fog trigger to work properly in like a minute and a half of testing. So just keep the logo CC5 there. Enjoy. Yeah. Or just also say it's interesting Dark Force isn't up here anymore.
Dark Force didn't miss out by much. Plenty of people vote for it.
Yeah. Maybe this is
We'll
the
be
year, guys.
looking for results of the community awards too pretty soon.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get, maybe this is the year of Dark Force, guys. Sure, this will be the year. Come on, we just all got to get together and finish the projects.
Surely.
Don't listen to any doubters. This is the year. We're finally going to finish Dark Force.
Now there is it is worth mentioning what's actually going to come up in 2025. I currently don't have strong there are no currently strongly scheduled plans. DLC 8 and 9 are certainly gonna happen. It's the way it looks. Obviously they're not announced, other than you can kind of count on them. Tentatively, DLC 8, you can expect that to take place in March and or April. I've already teased it a little bit, said that we're gonna bring back some of the ideas from DLC 2, and if you remember what that means, that was the 4-player teams with all-star teams every week. So each week you had to pick a new character. Well, you don't pick a new character, you have a character for the week. You get to pick which character you want on your team, and your team has to have one of each character. We're gonna update it for a little bit more modern DLC style mechanics. Like, we'll probably throw in a few keys. We're gonna have some fun with it. We'll see what happens in March and April.
Yep.
Another thing, there is a chance that CC5 or CC6 does actually happen in the year. I do want to have a little bit of a community poll about this very soon. So sometime possibly later on in the week, I'm gonna have a community poll for what kind of events people want to see. CC6 is going to be one of the things on there. I want to determine how, what kind of thing we want to do with CC6 as a whole. What I mean by that is kind of like, do I want to open up invites to everybody again, kind of like CC4, do a cyber complex like that. Maybe we want to do something like tryouts, and you submit your early map to CC6, and then a certain number of them might make it in. We could do something like that, or it could be kind of secret, invite only, if people don't really want to know what's going on with it and want it to be more of a surprise how it's going to work out. It's going to go that way. But I do want to leave this one up to the community to kind of vote on, to see what they want to do with CC6, what they want out of it, because I could do it any of those ways. I have ideas in mind for theming and all this other kind of stuff, so I'm probably going to work on another cool map project if I had to guess. Maybe that'll end up being CC6 this year.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to be for DLC, so don't think that that's going to be a thing.
Yeah, CC5 is a one-time thing, guys.
Yeah. There's definitely no surprise in mind for any DLC maps again.
Yeah, trust us, guys. Trust us.
It's just a coincidence.
Would I lie to you?
There was no surprise in DLC 6. There's not gonna be a surprise in 8 or 9. Trust me.
Yeah, all our cards are already on the table. Smile.
Yeah, this time I might even stream map making. That way you know it's not a surprise. If I don't stream it, it might be a surprise. But if I stream it, it's not going to surprise anyone anymore.
True. Surprise Zonda stream, no way, OMG.
I like the surprises though, so probably
Same.
won't stream it after all. I just like to wow people.
Yeah.
That's what we got though. Anyone brave want to check out the meme map pack? All you got to do is update your dust mod, and it's right there in the Nexus.
Yep. I'm very excited to see what everyone's gonna do this year.
Any recommended streamers to raid, by the way?
Let me go see who's live.
Another thing that might happen soon, we're seeing if Dustforce Survival Tournament 2 is gonna happen. That's a high possibility this year. Maybe soon, maybe after DLCA. I don't know.
Looks like right now, if no one streams Dustforce, No Face is doing Neon White. Bye-bye is streaming. Is Wazzy live? I don't think Wazzy's live. Could throw it to another. We could throw it to another game too. Whatever everyone's up to.
Yeah, we'll let people pick. Who do you want?
Could send it to Celeste Community. Could send it over to some Super Metroid runners. What do you guys want?